Welcome to another Odds HQ NBA betting preview video for Tuesday, August 25th. And if you were watching NBA basketball Sunday afternoon and in Game 4 of this Mavericks Clippers series, you were treated to a spectacular show. And honestly, one of the great all-time performances in a single game I've seen in the NBA playoffs. Honestly, when you talk about Luka Doncic and what he did in Game 4. Playing through a significant, serious ankle injury, and with his team trailing by 21 points in the first half. You would think a guy battling with a bum ankle, down 21 points in a game they're getting completely blown out in the first half. It's time to just, you know what, wave the white flag, live to fight another day, get healthy, pull myself off the court. Let's get ready for Game 5, boys. That did not happen, though. Luka Doncic with just a performance for the ages, with incredible physical limitations caused by the ankle injury. And here he is going out there saying, follow me, guys, putting the team on his back, putting the team on his shoulders. An unbelievable, truly remarkable Game 4 performance of a lifetime for Luka Doncic. 43 points, 17 rebounds, 13 assists, the game winner at the buzzer in overtime for the Dallas Mavericks, who come all the way back from an unbelievable 21-point deficit to beat the Clippers 135-133 in overtime and tie this series up at 2. And all of a sudden, there's a little tightness and a little bit of a tight around the collar feeling for the LA Clippers as we head to Game 5 with the series tied 2-2 on Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The LA Clippers 6.5-point favorites. Look at the total, 235.5. Every total in this series so far has been 230.5, 232. This is the highest total of the series now, 235.5. So odds makers have made a 3.5-point adjustment from where the total was in the last 2 games of this series. And you can understand why that is. Dallas is having one of the historically great, not just great, historically great offensive seasons in NBA history. That is how good Dallas has been offensively. And you look at all of a sudden the production they've gotten. It's not just Doncic anymore. And of course, Kristaps Porzingis, another key injury situation with Dallas. We'll have to keep an eye on that. He did not play in Game 4. Will he be ready to return for the Mavericks here in Game 5? But it's not just Luka Doncic. We're seeing Seth Curry. We're seeing Tim Hardaway. We're seeing Trey Burke. We're seeing a bunch of different secondary support role players for the Dallas Mavericks be big-time impact players at the offensive end of the court in this series. And they're doing this against not a chopped liver defense. They're doing this against the LA Clippers, who all season long statistically have had one of the best defenses in the NBA. So you got to give the Dallas Mavericks a ton of credit. Their ball movement's great. When they get an open shot or an open look, they've been able to drain those looks. And the LA Clippers have had a really, really tough time getting stops against this Dallas team. But then again, a lot of other teams have had trouble, facing this Mavericks offense throughout the course of the season. And that's definitely something that the LA Clippers found that out at the hard way in Game 4 of this series. Certainly from a spot perspective, throw everything out and just think about the spot for both of these teams. For Dallas, this is going to be a tough game for them because they exerted everything. And Luka Doncic in particular, he exerted everything. Everything. You left it all out on the court to bring his team back from that massive deficit in the first half to come back and win in overtime. You got to wonder if the gas tank is on again. Remember, he's still playing on that. That left ankle is not suddenly going to be healed and be 100%. By the time Game 5 tips off on Tuesday night, he's still going to be playing through pain. And he even kind of said it after the game. He said, adrenaline sort of took over for me in Game 4, and I rode that wave, and it really just blocked out everything, and I just took it upon me to, stay in the game and play as well as I could. This is where you could feel it for Luka Doncic. Off that kind of game, off that number of minutes playing at less than 100% on a very, very sore and tender ankle. If he struggles in this game, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, as unbelievable as he was in Game 4, this is still a human being with human body parts. He's not a robot. He's not a computer. It's going to be very, very difficult, in my opinion, for him to match what he did in Game 4 of this series. Of course, I did a video on this game on Sunday for odds.com, and I mentioned liking Dallas in that game. Of course, they ended up winning it outright, but I also mentioned in that video, this has been a zigzag series from the beginning. LA Clippers won and covered Game 1. Dallas won and covered Game 2. LA Clippers won and covered Game 3. Dallas won and covered Game 4. Put it this way, I ain't back on the Dallas train here in this game. I worry about them a little bit here in this spot, just because of the fact Luka played big minutes, impactful minutes, and it's a short turnaround too. Sunday to Tuesday, 1 day off in between. Let's see if that ankle holds up. I've got my concerns whether it wasn't for the LA Clippers. You would think they're going to be just, hell-bent on trying to exact some payback for that just brutal loss in overtime against Dallas. Now, you could say LA Clippers are in a little bit of a, maybe they're just down in the dumps after losing that game. I can't see that with, a team led by Kawhi Leonard. I think they've got the ability, they've got the players on this team to pick it up and pick themselves off the mat and get ready to play a very important Game 5 here. Although it's concerning for the Clippers that Paul George continues to struggle. This guy has been really bad. I mean, really, really poor. And it's not just shooting. He had just one of the most feeble, awful efforts defensively that I've seen in a long time in one sequence down the stretch of that Game 4 against Dallas. It's like he didn't even try to give any help defense on the play. It was just a shocking display from a guy the caliber of Paul George. He's got to get it. He's got to screw in and figure out how to be better, because he's got to be a whole hell of a lot better for the LA Clippers than he's been so far in this series, if the Clippers hope to not only win this series, but make a deep run in the Western Conference playoffs. It's been a zigzag series all the way. I would definitely look toward LA here, -6.5. It pains me to go against Luka Doncic and Dallas with the magic that they put together in Game 4. But I definitely think this is going to be a very, very difficult spot coming off that big win. I don't think Luka is going to be able to play anywhere close to as good, especially with the really, really sore ankle he's battling. You think the Clippers will have to turn it up a little bit defensively here in this game. And I think the Clippers won't go ice cold like they did for an extended period of Game 4, which also helped allow Dallas to get back in that game. So I definitely would look toward laying the points here. It's too much of a worry for me that the Dallas Mavericks, off just the utter emotion and the just really emptying the gas tank to come back to win that game, I just worry they maybe fall flat here in this game. And I also would look, even with this high total, Patrick Beverley, we got to talk about his absence. He's already very unlikely to play. He's been downgraded to doubtful. In fact, I think he's going to miss this game as well here for the Clippers. There is a under-the-radar totals trend with Patrick Beverley. When he doesn't play this season for the LA Clippers, the over is cashed at a 15-6, 71% clip. 15-6 to the over for the LA Clippers in 21 games without Patrick Beverley on the floor. He's an ace defender. He's an elite defender on this team. You saw what happened with Reggie Jackson, that disaster in Game 4. Somehow ends up covering Luka. Bam, game over, you lose. That's the downgrade we're talking about. We're talking about Reggie Jackson, who's not a good defender. Patrick Beverley is, and you're seeing this Clippers team struggle. And I know they'll be amped up to play better defense after what happened in Game 4. Doesn't mean they'll be able to execute necessarily with all the plethora of scoring weapons and options the Dallas Mavericks have clearly shown on display here in this series. And again, so far in this series, every game that Patrick Beverley's been out in this series alone has gone over the total. And like I said, 15-6, 71% to the over for the entire season in 21 games for the Clippers when Patrick Beverley hasn't played. I think that trend continues here. So if I'm betting this game from a side and total perspective, I'd look to the Clippers -6.5, and I would look over the total of 235.5 between the Mavericks and the Clippers. That's my Odds HQ Tuesday NBA betting preview video for Game 5 between the Mavericks and the Clippers. It's a big one with the series tied at 2 games apiece. That'll wrap it up. I'm Ian Cameron. Thank you for watching. As always, a reminder to check out odds.com for great sports betting content on a daily basis, and also a reminder to be subscribed and tuned in daily to the Odds HQ YouTube channel for great sports betting videos and live shows on a daily basis. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games and good luck, and I will be back with you on Wednesday for more Odds HQ NBA betting preview videos.